Your mother-in-law isn't old-fashioned. She's a snake in a floral print dress. That cousin who keeps asking for money, he doesn't want a hand up. He wants to pick your pockets while you're sleeping. And that sibling who always forgets your birthday, but remembers every single mistake you made in 2012. They don't love you. They love the version of you they can control, exploit, or look down on. We've been lied to. We've been told blood is thicker than water by the very people who are currently using that blood to write checks you're expected to cash. But guess what? The universe is tired of watching you be a doormat. Life is about to start kicking these parasites out of your house. And it's going to be loud, it's going to be messy, and honestly, it's going to be hilarious. You keep making excuses for people who wouldn't even post a bail bond for you if it costs them a nickel. You think they're just stressed. No, Karen is just a jerk. Life has a funny way of starting this removal process. It usually begins with a forced crisis. You'll notice that as soon as you stop being the fixer, as soon as you stop being the one who pays for dinner, or the one who listens to their 3-hour venting sessions about their boss, they start acting out. Life will create a situation where you actually need help for once, just to make you watch how fast they suddenly have bad reception or a migraine. You'll stop being the emotional and financial bank, and suddenly you're the villain of the family group chat. The universe will literally make them reveal their true colors through a slip of the tongue, where they say something so incredibly disrespectful that even your people-pleasing brain can't ignore it. This is the divine trash-taking out service. If they can't use you, they can't love you, because their love was just a subscription service to your kindness, and the subscription just expired. Let's talk about the inconvenience filter. This is my favorite part because it's so petty. When life wants to protect you, it makes you inconvenient to the people who are draining you. Maybe you lose your job. Maybe you get sick. Maybe you just decide to say no to hosting Thanksgiving for 20 ungrateful humans who don't even bring a bag of ice. The moment you become useless to a fake family member, they disappear faster than your hairline in your 30s. It's dramatic, it's insulting, and it's the best gift you'll ever get. They will stop calling because you aren't providing them with gossip or resources. They will start making plans without you and forget to invite you because they realize they couldn't exploit you at that event. They will find a new target in the family while you watch from the sidelines as they start sucking the life out of your cousin instead. It's comedy gold. You're sitting there crying into your pillow while they're already auditioning your replacement. Stop crying. You just got fired from a job that paid you in migraines and debt. Celebrate. Now, life doesn't always do this quietly. Sometimes life is a savage. It orchestrates a massive blow-up. This is usually a holiday dinner or a funeral, places where tensions are high and the wine is flowing. Life will stir the pot until that one uncle says the one thing he can't take back. The secret hater will finally reach their limit of seeing you succeed. They will attack your character because they can't attack your results. They will try to turn the rest of the family against you with lies that are so ridiculous. When this happens, your first instinct is to defend yourself. Don't. Let them keep talking. Let them dig a hole so deep they hit the earth's core. The universe is giving them enough rope to hang their own reputation. When life removes a family member through an explosion, it's because you were too stubborn to leave quietly. You kept trying to fix the relationship, so life had to blow the bridge up so you couldn't walk back across it. After the removal, these people enter the selective memory phase. This is where they tell everyone you're crazy or changed. They'll say things like, "Ever since he got that promotion, he think he's too good for us." "No, I just don't want to hear you complain about your third divorce while I'm trying to enjoy my steak." They will rewrite history to make themselves the victim of your abandonment. They will weaponize other family members to guilt trip you. They will wait for you to fail so they can say, "I told you so." This is the final test. Life is checking to see if you're strong enough to stay away. It's like an allergic reaction. Your life is literally sneezing these people out of your system. You're probably thinking, "But they're my family. We share the same DNA." Listen to me carefully. A mosquito shares your DNA after it bites you, but you still slap the life out of it. DNA is just a biological blueprint. It's not a contract for lifelong abuse. When life removes these people, your bank account usually starts going up. Your blood pressure starts going down. Your skin clears up because you aren't processing the toxins of their presence. The truth is that some people are only in your life to show you what you don't deserve. They are the human equivalent of a what not to do manual. Once you've learned the lesson, their purpose is served. Keeping them around after the lesson is learned is like keeping a cast on your leg after the bone has healed. You're just limping for no reason. Once the trash has been collected and hauled away by the garbage truck, something amazing happens. You find your real family. You find friends who actually show up when you're sick without being asked. You find mentors who want you to win more than you do. You find peace that isn't interrupted by text at 2 a.m., asking if they can borrow money. Life doesn't empty your house just to leave it empty. It empties it so you can bring in furniture that doesn't have bed bugs. You were so busy trying to please people who hated your shadow that you didn't have room for people who love your light. So, the next time a family member stops calling, or starts a fight over nothing, or blocks you on social media because you didn't bow down to their ego, don't be sad. Don't go chasing them. Don't send a "can we talk" text. Sit back, grab some popcorn, and watch the show. Life is doing the heavy lifting for you. It's performing a spiritual exorcism. If they wanted to be in your life, they would act like it. If they act like they don't care, believe them. Stop trying to find hidden meaning in their disrespect. The meaning isn't hidden. It's screaming in your face. They don't love you. They love the access. And now that the gates are closed, watch how fast they find a new person to terrorize. You are free, so you should be going out there to live a life so good it makes them regret every lie they ever told about you. True freedom isn't the absence of family. It's the absence of the anxiety they caused you. When life finally severs those ties, it is granting you the stillness required to actually hear your own thoughts for once. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and you have spent years imagining a love that never existed. Marcus Aurelius famously said that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By letting them go without bitterness, you win. You are no longer a character in their drama. You are the master of your own soul. Stay savage, and for the love of everything holy, stop answering the phone when you see their name pop up. You know how the movie ends. Why watch the sequel? For the people who usually ask for books recommendation for the topic discussed, I suggest you read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This is the modern-day Bible for the savage mindset. This book is about triage and deciding which things and people actually deserve your limited energy. Manson argues that life is inherently full of struggle. The key to fulfillment isn't avoiding pain, but choosing better problems. He emphasizes that we have a limited amount of fucks to give. Therefore, we must reserve them for what truly aligns with our values. By accepting our limitations and embracing the inevitability of suffering, we gain the freedom to focus on what actually matters. The comment of the day goes to Cowboy Games, and it reads, "This is good. I needed this." That's how you know it was meant for you. You're welcome.